about a shirtless man.
Appreciate you guys being here this month. We have got a lot going on, do we not?
Oh, yeah.
66 Corvette. You guys didn't see us do the body work on that car. It is painted and ready to go home. We'll go back and talk about it a little bit. The Corvair, the little putt-putt, it's painted and looking sharp. I think Joe is buttoning up some interior parts. You know, we're a vintage car shop, or we're an old car shop, or we're a hot rod shop. We was approached by somebody the other day about working on a vintage camper. I thought, vintage camper, this is crazy. He brought a vintage camper to us, and we are stuffing a hot rod motor in a C-Class camper from the 80s. The cool thing about that car is in the 80s, things were low horsepower. They was emission controlled. We're putting a massive motor in this camper, and we're going to make this thing move down the highway. We've taken in an Austin Healey that's been in a wreck, and I want to show you that car before we even start. David should be unloading it from the trailer. Got a lot of cool projects going on. Something else I want to tell you about is we have created a Facebook page just for Hot Rods and Rust. The cool thing about it is, go to Facebook, Hot Rods and Rust. You'll see some behind-the-scenes footage, and you'll see pictures on Hot Rods and Rust that we don't post anywhere else. So how about we go back to the shop, and if at all possible we have enough time, we'll go for a ride in that 66 Corvette. I'm loading it up, going to take it back to Buckhead tonight, take it home. Go back to the shop and check it out, yeah.
We want to welcome you to the House of the Redeemed. We want to welcome you to Biker Church tonight.
We have full-blown praise and worship for the kids, games, and all kind of lessons so that they can learn about Jesus.
And tonight I just want to let you know, in this house, you're loved and accepted and received just like you are.
If I can say one thing about Biker Church is that this is a safe, fun place for young people where they can learn how to live a radical life for Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Now that doesn't mean the iron doesn't sharpen iron. Our job is to challenge one another and to grow in one another the things of the Lord. That's the reason all our services, you'll always see that we sit down and break bread together. We have a meal together. We get to know one another so that we earn the right to speak into each other's life. It's not just given to us, we earn it. Amen? Amen. Welcome.
Well, that about does it, Miss Tanner. I got your gas heat service all hooked up and she's ready to go.
Good. They say it's going to get cold tonight.
Now, all you have to do to turn it on is push this button right here.
Is that gas I smell?
Would you let your yard man install your heating and air conditioning? If so, we're not for you. So give us a call today at Mike Vining Heating and Air Conditioning and let us install a comfort system that will save you money. My dad opened this company in 1979, so we truly are a family-owned and operated business. We install major brands such as Rheem, Goodman, Amana, and American Standard. We also service any brand out there. Our skilled technicians and competitive prices will ease your mind and save you money. We look forward to the opportunity to be of service to you and your family.
I knew I should have called Mike Vining.
Crazy about a shirtless man.
So I was telling you guys inside about the vintage camper that we're doing. Now I'll be honest with you, I won't take another camper job. If this hasn't been a previous customer, we wouldn't have touched it. But you know, the cool thing is the theory behind this camper is the same as behind all these cars. Keep these cars on the road, make them last, drive them, enjoy them. Well, there was nothing wrong with the camper other than the motor was wore out and tired. It had a little bitty 305 in it, which wasn't near the horsepower that camper should have had. So I've been asked through my entire life, whether I was asked or not, a lot of times I'd do it, hot rod whatever I had. And you know, if it's on wheels, I can make it go faster. That camper was so underpowered. It could barely get out of its own way. It was in its 1985 camper, you know, emissions, it was choked down, robbed horsepower. What I did was I ordered a Jasper engine. We're stuffing a stage 1 350 in the camper. He told me to paint the motor a weird color, so we painted it lime green. How about that? Do some chrome accessories and a big 4-barrel. Do some exhaust work. David, I'm hoping today we're going to stuff it in there, right?
Yeah, it'll be in there today.
You know, you can take a look at the motor. You can see a lot of accessories we've already put on the car. I'm trying to decide what carburetor to put in it now. But when the owner gets in that camper, I want him to know that it will move and it go. I'm thinking I'm going to get 120, 125 more horsepower off the base out of that car. And you know, the little V8 that was in that camper to begin with was probably under 200 horsepower. So I'm hoping to get closer to 3 1/4. But you know, you think about it, it is tougher to get it in and out of a camper, but man, it's a Chevy small block. You know, the Chevy small block's a Chevy small block, so. Do a little chrome accessories, and I told him, I said, man, we do this to your camper, you've got to pop the hood and show the folks, right? Which, you know, it's not gonna smoke the tires, but it should go on down the interstate very well. And I painted it lime green on top of that. He gave me free rein. You know, I've always wanted a lime green motor in something, so I got it in a vintage camper. So that's cool stuff.
It's gonna be cool when we get done with it.
You ain't lying. The next thing I want to show you is the Corvair. It's a project car that was planned to be here for 6 months. I think we're into the 4th month on that car. We're almost done. My guys were so excited about the car. We're way ahead of schedule. Joe's putting on some final trim pieces. We still got to sand and polish the car, buff it out, make it really that deep red shine. But all in all, that car's about done. It may or may not be here next month. I hope it is. You get to see the finished product. Maybe we'll take it for a ride. The reason it's here another month or two is she's on a budget. Each month she pays a certain amount. We do a certain amount of work to her car. The car was scheduled to be here 6 months, and it's into the 4th month. We've got it painted, doing some bright work. The cool thing about this car, when it comes to Corvairs, is the following for Corvairs is really coming on in the last probably 5 or 6 years. More and more people are starting to take notice to these cars. If you remember several months ago, we had a convertible in the shop. This one happens to be a hardtop. This is what's called the Monza. It's the big motor car. It's the 110cc car. The owner to the car has been involved somewhat. She's ordered all of her rubber parts, done some research, and she actually went to an upholstery shop and had door panels made for the car. That's what Joe's putting on right now. He's finishing up the door panels. But what I want to show you is underneath the back where the motor is. The motor's not in the front of this car. The front of this car is the trunk. The back is the motor. Well, there's, you know, the motor in the rear of cars, there's more than you think there is. Of course, there's Volkswagens. They're the most popular. There's also a lot of mid-engine cars. People think they're rear-engine cars. A lot of the high-end sports cars are mid-engine cars, and people confuse those with rear-engine cars, but the Corvair is definitely a rear-engine car. This is a neat little car. I talked about this last month and got called to the carpet on it. When I was talking about carburetors last month, one of my viewers noticed that I called this a 4-cylinder. And I knew it's not, it's a 6-cylinder, but I wanted to clarify that. We've done a lot of work under here, cleaning it up, sprucing it up, making it look good. This car was not a restoration, it was just to spruce the car up and make it look good. A rear engine car was designed to be an economy car. They're cheaper to build. The Volkswagen, the rear engine, the transaxle, it's all right there, easy to build, easy to work on. Same way with the Corvair, it was a budget-minded car. You look at the 80s, Chrysler built a lot of cars like the K car. In my opinion, they were pure junk. They had sideways mounted motors, front wheel drive transaxles. That was a way to save money. So front wheel drive cars were designed and built as a way to save money, a unit instead of motor, transmission, drive line and everything. It was a big expensive car to build. So it's funny how the economy has driven different builds and different designs we've had in cars through the year. And here again, the Corvair was an economy car. The interior on the car was in good shape. Even though this car was bought out of a junkyard, the interior cleaned up real well, but the interior door panels didn't. She had to get those remade. They was able to match the material up and make it look like it came that way. And if everything goes good, maybe next month we'll take this car for a drive. Maybe I'll let David take it for a drive because he loves this car, don't you? Oh no, it's a neat car. So the little Austin Healey came to us. It was in an accident, and man, that just breaks my heart. A fantastic car like that, that's a kind of a fresh restoration. It's a British sports car. Little Austin Healey, it's a fantastic car. That's a 67 model. We've been trusted to take that car apart, straighten it out, and put it back together. I feel sure we can make it that you'll never know it was in an accident. And I'm excited about doing that job. I had David unloaded a few minutes ago, and it's headed into the shop this morning. The cool thing about this car, man, is you never see them. You don't see them on the road. You see them on TV and you see them in the movies. And it's going to be hard to find parts to fix that car, but I can assure you we can put that car back together the way it ought to be. Kind of sad to see a collector car like that, especially a $90,000 car with damage, but I feel sure we can put it back together. I picked it up last night. For some of my customers, I will pick up and deliver their cars in an enclosed trailer, and these cars should be handled that way. They're very expensive, very valuable cars. In fact, the Corvette is going in that trailer tonight to go home. So the 66 Corvette, this belongs to a collector up in Buckhead. If you remember the little Austin Healey we just backed out of the trailer, same owner. The cool thing about this car is it's just like the white Corvette we did a couple months ago and took to Peach Auction Sales. So the Corvette, it belongs to a collector up in Buckhead. He's got a fantastic collection of cars, just beautiful cars. And he's chosen our shop to go through some of them. We went through a Mercedes since the last TV show. I've delivered that back to him. We've got the Corvette. The Corvette was just basically a freshening up. The car was restored some time ago and it was in fantastic shape. It had a few scratches, a few nicks and dings on it. He drives his cars, and they should be driven. Cars should be driven. I hate to see a car sitting on a turntable somewhere in a plastic bubble. He drives this car. And when he hired me to paint the car, he says, just paint it like a daily driver. He says, I want to drive this car. I think we kind of overdid it a little bit on the finish, but it's a good looking car. Color on that car is Mossport green. It's a 1 year only color. I was asked on Facebook, was that silver? Believe it or not, Mossport green is a silver-based color. You add yellows and greens to it and blues, and you finally get the Mossport, and it's a beautiful color. 1 year only Corvette color. The car runs and drives great. This time when we brought the car in, all we did was just do an exterior paint job to it. Do a few touch-ups here and there. Door latch was broke. The seat adjustment was broke in the car, and it had some tail light issues. Went through the car, made sure all the drivability was straight on the car. Now, the white 65 we had in our shop several months ago was a convertible car only. These cars came convertible, coupe, or convertible hardtop. This car has both. Underneath this bonnet is a convertible. As well, this car has a hardtop that bolts in place. How you can tell if a Corvette mid-year, these are mid-year Corvettes, came with hardtops is there'll be an extra set of holes here to line the hardtop. So when you go to a car show and are looking at these cars, convertibles, if you see an extra set of holes, that means there's a hard top that goes with this car somewhere. Now I've already taken the hard top back to the owner. I took it back yesterday. So I don't have it here to show you today, but it's a good telltale sign. If you see this extra set of holes, it's a hard top car. That's cool stuff, isn't it? I tell you what, I think we're going to go for a ride in this car in a little while. I think Richard with Peach Auction Sales, Richard and Richard are here, and we're going to take a look at a car we're getting ready to go to auction.
Every girl crazy about a shot dance man.
Hello, my name is Linda Clark. I'm with CNC Fence. We are a family-owned and operated business that has been in business since 1983. We do residential and commercial fence, all types, in the Metro Atlanta area. And we also do temporary construction fence for construction sites.
Hi, my name is Jennifer with Lady Fencer. I sell fence material to the public for do-it-yourself. Come see me today.
Come see us at CNC Fence. We have a showroom that you can look at, and we do free estimates.
Summertime means termite time at Active Pest Control. The Active Termite Baiting System eliminates entire colonies of termites around your home. The Active Pest Control guarantee is the best in the business and includes a liquid barrier treatment, repair warranty, and no deductibles for termite damage claims. For all your pest and mosquito control needs, call for a free inspection today.
Where relationships matter, keep them active with Active Pest Control.
Here at Foundation Sports, we provide a fun family environment for children of all levels to reach their goals and perform to their highest potential. Both family and individual packages are available. Member clinics, skill testing, 24-hour access, discounted pricing on individual lessons, skill development, fall and winter program, as well as weekly and day camps. As a member, you would be entitled to discounts on Wilson and DeMarini products, as well as an assortment of items from our BSN catalog. Be sure to visit any of our 3 locations in Peachtree City, Lovejoy, and Stockbridge. Be sure to like us on Facebook and find us online at FoundationSportsLLC.com.
Every girl crazy about a shot glass man.
So what I want you guys to see, I know we got the auction coming up
July the 18th.
July the 18th. And I've got a car. If you remember the guy that owned the VW auction off last time,
Right.
he brought me a car and he says, do whatever you want to do to the car to make it presentable to take to the collector car auction. It was a nice car to start with. Had a couple of dings, so we're doing a little bit of paint work. But I think all in all, it's going to be a cool car. I want you guys to look at it and kind of give me some suggestions. Hey, what do you think about that?
I think it's a 32 Chevrolet Coupe that's all in pieces.
You ain't lying. That's exactly what it is. You know what my task is on that? Turn it into a hot rod. Put it on a modern chassis. You know, the 32 Chevy, that's an all-steel car. That's the way it came from the assembly line. That car's in great shape. It looks bad right now. It's in a million pieces. But we've been tasked to turn that into a sure enough hot rod. So over the next 6 to 8 months, that's what we're going to do. I've got to decide what chassis to put under that car. I haven't decided yet. I've looked at several. He wants air conditioning. He wants it to look like a rat rod. I've only had it a week. I've got to start going through it and looking at it. My task was this. He says he wants a rat rod, but it's got to have air conditioning.
That's possible.
Yeah, it's possible, but a rat rod, nice rat rod with air conditioning. So
That's a great body to do that with.
and you know, the styling, man, that's a good looking car.
What kind of chassis are you thinking about putting it on?
I don't know. I really don't know. It was handed off to me. It comes from a good customer, and he's just trusting me to do what we need to do to it. But I'm excited about it. We've had it a week. I started doing research. I've got to get that car laid out. In other words, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. I've got to get it laid out on the floor and just see what we got and how things fit, you know. I've got this vision in my head. I'm going to do something like no one else has ever done. I'm probably going back front fenders, and I'm going just with the top of a fender here, and the tire's actually sticking out of the back. Kind of like what you'd have seen on a gasser back in the day.
Well, I'd agree with you, but I think if you're going to do that, it needs motorcycle fenders on the front and not the old fenders.
Now that would be neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That's old hot rod stuff to me, and I like
That's
old
what I
hot
love,
rods.
man.
Still.
That's what I
Yeah.
love, stuff like that. But the Grand National, I want you guys to look at this car and see
Right.
see what you think. So the Buick Grand National is a fantastic car. It's a turbo car. Man, that car is fast. I'm not talking about quick. That car is just sure enough fast. It's a turbo car. I'm sprucing that up, going to take it to their auction. I think it's July the 18th.
Cool. Grand National.
That's it. We've already started doing some body work. We found a couple of dings here and there. Nothing major. It was a nice car to start with.
T-tops?
T-tops. It's leather interior. You know the really cool thing about the car is somebody's upgraded all the dash, so it's got digital dash. It's got air conditioning. I can't wait to see what that car does at auction. Excited about it. Good people, and they do well for me. They handle my cars and they represent them well. And I'll take my cars down early, and I don't worry a bit. They stayed in nice condition storage. They stay dust free. They stay looking the way they're supposed to look. This car is over 600 horsepower.
Let's go for a ride. Oh yeah. My goodness.
You know this car will flat fly. Surely there's a collector out here who will love this car.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of aluminum in here, and that'll polish up real good, detail the rest of the engine compartment. I know you're going to put good paint back on it, buff it out. Black's the natural color for Grand National, so there are people looking for them, and we'll get some of them to the auction for sure. What do you think about the interior? I mean, suede and leather. I mean, it's
it's 1980 something. You know, it is faded a little bit, but I mean, it's got some age on it. But still, all in all, it's a cool car. I know as good as y'all have done for us in the past on every car we've ever brought. Surely we'll do good on this one.
Well, you've always brought us cars that are desirable and in good condition, and people are looking for that type of collectible car. The only thing I see about it that might help it if it had the original wheels back on it.
You know, I thought about that, but if you look at the brake system that's on the car,
Probably
it's got
wouldn't fit.
serious upgraded brakes. They wouldn't fit. Yeah, it's pretty much got to be what it is.
I tell you, somebody's got a nice looking Chevrolet pickup truck.
We've been doing a lot of cool stuff to that truck. Yeah, you know the blue 63 Chevy, it comes and goes. It belongs to a good customer. He takes the truck out and shows it. He brought it back to us just recently and asked me if we could upgrade the latch system in that truck. He also asked us to put shoulder harness seat belts in it. You know, these old trucks, when they came from the factory, the latch mechanism in them was not that reliable. I've read stories about the doors popping open when they cross railroad tracks, but it seems like that's just a little project. He's a very particular car owner. He wants his stuff right, and he brings it to us to keep it right. So we kind of maintain that truck for him. So what we did on the truck was we fabricated a bear claw system and put it in the truck. So now, a modern car has two latches, the first one and then the second one. The old cars only had one. So this way, if the truck's latched halfway, it's not going to fly open. It'd rattle a little bit. Then latched all the way. So it's a safety latch like a modern car. You know, those old trucks, man, safety was not an issue. They just didn't care. They were work trucks, I read a report, God, this was old. It was a little advertisement about those truck doors popping open. Ford had their issues in the 60s with truck doors popping open.
Well, this is the kind of modification that it adds safety, it also adds reliability, and the average person would miss it. If they looked, they wouldn't realize.
They wouldn't even know it.
Wouldn't know it.
We'll probably wrap this truck up in the next couple of weeks. We're going to put a new set of headers and an aluminum radiator in it too.
Yeah, I was looking forward to coming up here. I thought maybe the Camaro would still be here.
The Camaro went back home.
I was looking forward to driving that.
Would you? Now, last time I offered you a ride in it. No, I offered you a ride and you said no. Hey, Richard, I'm going to tell you what. When I took Jason for a ride in that Camaro last month on the TV show, white knuckles. Jason from the pawn shop, white knuckles in that car.
I think, what was his word? That James was embellishing.
No, there's no embellishment at all. No embellishment. And you can tell him I said that. In fact, he can watch the TV show.
Tell him the fingerprints are still in the door handle.
Every girl crazy about a shot-dance man.
Did you know that in 2002 I perfected the Gordo's cheese dip recipe? And then we offered it to the good people of Stockbridge in 2003. That creamy, smooth, and luscious cheese flavor made with real cheese and wholesome ingredients has become a favorite. And now we're sharing it with folks across the country. And there's so many different ways Gordo's can add a flavorful twist to most any meal, like Philly steak and cheese, the easy cheesy biscuits, Gordo's burrito, and of course our delicious stovetop mac and cheese, and so much more. But do you know the real reason why Gordo's cheese dip is so popular?
Because it tastes good?
Because it tastes good.
Our relationship with Heritage Bank and the people goes back some time. We have to have flexibility and support from our bank, and that's what we have.
The situation with Heritage is they are so uniquely different than all the other banks. They're probably the premier community bank there is anywhere in the country.
It doesn't matter what time of day you go into the bank, Heritage Bank, the people are just wonderful.
I opened a business account with Heritage Bank, and it's just been a great relationship. The bankers are just friendly, and it takes a partnership. And with that partnership, my business accounts have grown, and I hope they continue to grow with Heritage.
Thank you for calling High Priority Plumbing. This is Brittany. How can I help you?
Yeah. Do you guys have any ordained plumbers?
No, sir, but we have expert professional plumbers on staff 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Look, I have a plumbing emergency.
I understand, sir, and I will be glad to assist you with getting someone out to your home.
How soon can they get here?
For that got out of hand.
Oh, wow. Are you sure everything's okay?
Oh, yes, sir. We took care of it. Thank you for calling High Priority Plumbing. Because at High Priority Plumbing, our customers are our priority.
You are my hero.
Every girl crazy about a shot dance man.
Man, I love this color. I had somebody on Facebook ask me if this was silver. Well, the truth of the matter is the paint itself starts out being silver, and then I tint it and tint it and tint it with yellows and blues to get it. Now I'm telling you, it's exactly the color it was in '66.